is the restaurant and where we're gonna have lunch. And then right here where these girls are sitting, there's an ice cream place on the right, and then a little boutique with souvenirs, handmade gifts, bags, clothes, things like that. We are standing on top of the coffee shop. This is just a giant barrel. Look, they have giant barrels all over. And up at the top are these sitting booths on the top of the barrels. I think this is fantastic. I love this idea.
So we're out in wine country right now, and that is Guadalupe, Valley of Guadalupe, and we're starving. We haven't had lunch or breakfast yet, so we're having lunch at this place. What's it called?
Oh, no me acuerdo.
Tina de something.
Huh?
I forget.
Anyways, the tour bus just stopped in front of us, so we went to the smaller lunch cafe area, and this is great. We're going to go check out this for lunch,
It
and then we're
smells so good.
yeah, meat. Then we'll do some wine tours. We'll hit a couple of wineries and find some sort of upside down boat treasure hunt.
Okay.
More to come. And so we're discussing what we're going to go to next, and I think it's going to be, what did I say? Trevista? Trevista. Oops. But my local driver says maybe it's not a good idea because we have to cross the river.
And it's been raining here recently, which is unusual. So the road may actually not have a bridge, so we can check that out.
So what do you think?
Yeah, we'll go check it out. If the bridge is washed out or non-existent, we'll come back and have coffee.
Or we'll go four-wheeling. We'll see what we see. There's the Killjoy right there.
Welcome, guys. Hello. We have a table right here, or we have a table right here.
All right, so this one is the Syrah with a little bit of Sauvignon Blanc. These are both 2017 wines.
They're totally dry.
And these
Yeah,
are
both are bone dry. Yes.
these are the mischievous.
Yes, mischievous or flirty. It kind of is. It depends on, I guess, the context of what you're using the word la traviesa, but we're kind of using it in both. And this is the Grenache. So you can even see just even the little bit of variance in the color here. So this one's a little bit more of a ruby, that kind of darker, more red. This is kind of more of like a salmon-y orange color, which is common for Grenache rosés.
2017 too.
Yes. Yes, usually whites and rosés you want to drink within the first couple of years. They don't sit and they don't rest in as well in bottle as reds. Also, a common misconception about aging reds completely has to do with the style of red that that person made, because they might have intended for that wine to be drank in the first 4 years. The corks have a lot to do with it as well. They
Okay.
have anywhere from 3, 10 to 50-year corks, 50-plus-year corks, and the longer the cork life, the more expensive they are. And so I would say the average around here, most of the reds, they purchase about, I think it's like 6 to 15 years max, and that's at the higher end. So most of the reds...
About what makes it completely dry?
What makes it dry is that you ferment all of the sugars out of the wine. So what you start with is grape juice, which is chock full of sugar. You add in the yeast, and the yeast eats the sugar and converts it to alcohol. So you can halt that fermentation and leave some of that residual sugar in there. And you can halt fermentation by basically telling the yeast to knock it off and to stop fermenting. Or you only add a certain amount of yeast to ferment to a certain point. What we do is to ferment to dryness is that you put the correct amount of yeast in and you let it eat all of the sugars out of the wine, so that all that you're left with is just the alcohol and the tannins and the flavors of the wine. We all prefer dry wines.
Is that typical of most winery makers?
It's I would say in the States, probably yes. It really depends on kind of the region that you are. Mexican natives usually, like locals, tend to like sweeter wines, but they also just don't drink a lot of wine either. A lot of people start with sweet wines and move to dries as they find out that they like different flavors, or when they realize what they're tasting, when they're paying more attention to what they're tasting, because the more sugar that's in something, you can't taste the wine anymore.
So how do I taste? How do I taste it if it's dry? How do I know if it's dry?
How you you put it in your mouth and you kind of swish it around a little bit
Here.
and swallow. It's gonna leave
That's
kind
recording.
of that like that dryness on your tongue.
This one's mine.
Our wines tend to kind of trick people a little bit because they're so fruity that your brain automatically connects fruit with sugar. But there is no residual sugar. They're just very fruity. And so we do get people that were like, oh, I don't like dry wines, that actually really enjoy our wines because they're fruity. So then they're realizing, oh, it's not that I don't like dry wines, I just don't like...
These taste really clean.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very clean. They don't have the... I've had some that were... I was told it was very dry, that had like a harsh, almost like a chemical aftertaste.
It could have been what they added to it or something to correct the wine at some point. Often people will add water to bring down the alcohol because, like, we can only go above a certain amount. And so certain people will do certain things, like Relieve. I'm not a huge fan of that winery. I've personally had a rosé from them where I knew it was watered down.
It takes out the sweets, basically, on part of the palate.
It takes off the sweet part on your tongue, but that's purely the sugar that's doing that. Like your brain is still saying it's kind of sweet because of the fruitiness, but it is actually dry, and so you're not going to get as bad of a hangover.
Yeah, both
it's got
wines
a
are-
higher alcohol content because it's drier.
Yeah.
So also that's the other thing too, is that a sweeter wine isn't going to have as high of an alcohol content because all the sugars haven't been converted into alcohol yet. So the drier the wine, the higher the alcohol.
Is there a way to tell with these line drops?
Yeah, those are called the legs. So
Legs?
The legs will tell you how high the alcohol content is in a wine. So the thicker the legs and the slower they move and the more there are, the heavier alcohol content that is. So for a rosé, they're pretty high. I would say these are probably around 13%. Most rosés are around probably 9 or 10.
Oh man, Jim, we might get too much fun.
The red,
good thing I'm drinking soda water.
14 because we pay an extra tax over the 14%, and so all the wines will say 14. But most Mexican reds down here average around 15 to 16%.
Okay.
So they're very high
Nice.
compared to some of the colder wine regions of the world, like
Good thing
Italy
we have
or
bread and
Washington.
pizza coming.
Yeah, actually, speaking of which, let me go.
All right, go check it on it. Bourbon, homemade pizza.
Homemade pizza.
Did you guess the combo? Nice. Go ahead.
So you guys tried the Dama Tatuada, which is our cab
That's very good.
our cab blend. Yeah, it's
Okay.
one of the most robust Cabernets that we have, but at 18 months in barrel.
Okay.
You guys are also getting the Syrah Rosé, which was the leaner of the two. It has a little bit of Sauvignon Blanc, so it's got just like a touch of citrus as well.
That's the lighter of the.
The lighter of the two.
Okay.
And then we have the award-winning Chardonnay. This is the gold medal winner and the People's Choice winner. It's a barrel-fermented Chardonnay, large punching style barrels. So it's really well integrated oak, and it still retains a lot of its fruitiness. So it's not like an overly oaked buttery Chardonnay. It's like a very in between, like stainless steel and
that's
heavy oaked.
this one right here.
Yeah, that's what this trophy is for, and then also this golden medal as well for the Chardonnay.
Perfect. Are you happy?
Oh yeah, this is great.